Okay, good evening, guys. My name is Lamin Fofana. I would like to introduce to you Google Sheet. Okay, we are going to look at Google Sheet. Right, so if you can bear me out, I'll take you through the fundamentals of Google Sheet. Okay, so relax and enjoy. But before going through, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, to subscribe, you look below on the right corner and click the subscribe button. Okay, click the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you. Right. So we're going to look at the following topics. Sorry, by the way, I would like to say that I am representing my organization, which is called Land for Accountancy and Consultancy Associates, LACA. What we do basically is we consult for businesses, we train staff of organizations on ICT and finance. We've been doing that for more than 10 years now. And also the main proprietor and the chief trainer is a chartered accountant himself who has got a wealth of experience using ICT, specifically spreadsheets. Okay, so we're going to look at, of course, what is Google Sheet? How do we access Google Sheet? And how do we create a new Google Sheet file? That's what we're going to go through. Right. Before we look at Google Sheet as it is, I would first like to say what is Google Sheet? When we talk about Google Sheet, what do we mean by Google Sheet? Okay. Google Sheet is an online spreadsheet package which is developed by the mighty Google. Okay, Google Sheet goes with Google Doc, which is an equivalent for Microsoft Word, and it goes with Google Slides, which is also an equivalent for Microsoft PowerPoint. So Google Sheet itself is very, very, very similar to Microsoft Excel. Okay, but its main advantage is it is an online-based spreadsheet. It is an online-based spreadsheet, and which makes it flexible, which makes it advantageous to collaborate. You know, if you're working together, you could share the same file, you know, and you could, you could be doing work, you know, real time. Some will be responsible for example, inputting. Some could be responsible for editing, and some will be responsible for ensuring that the report, you know, is put together. Right. So that is Google Sheet. It is very, 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 very useful. Very, very useful. And a lot of people don't know that it exists. Okay, a lot of people don't know that it exists. Most people are aware of Microsoft packages, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint. But Google Sheet is it's a fairly new concept. Okay, it's a fairly new concept. Okay, And the advantage it has is it is free, completely free. If you have a Google account, a Google email account, which is a Gmail, if you have a Gmail account, then these packages are available for you free of charge. Okay? So how do we access Google Sheet? Okay, I'll take you through how do we access Google Sheet. Right, if you bear me out, I'll just take you through right away. Good. So in order to access Google Sheet, um, we can access it, of course, through our Gmail account. As you can see here, okay, you can, of course, access it through standalone app. You could download Google Sheet app on your phone or on your machine, which you could access, directly. Okay, you could access it through Google Drive. If you download the Google Drive app, you can also access it directly. And of course, you can access it through your email. So to access it through your email, which is your Gmail, of course, open your normal Gmail account, okay, just like I have done. We all know how to open our Gmail accounts, okay. After opening your Gmail accounts, come here to the top right corner where you have 9 dots, okay, where you have 9 dots. Click it open and choose Drive. That's Google Drive. Okay, so if you choose Google Drive, just 1 second, let me project Google Drive. Right. If you choose your Google Drive, you should see something like this. Okay, you should see something like this. Quickly, I will explain what is contained in a Google Drive. Google Drive, of course, is the cloud storage that is available to all users of Gmail. If you open a new Gmail account, you are provided this cloud storage free of charge. And the storage is 15 gigabytes for all users. Okay, for all users, you can get 15 gigabytes. This one, because I'm using the University of the Gambia, it is limitless. Okay, as you can see here, I have 17.5 GB used, and they did not tell me what is remain that I can use. Okay, it's because it's limitless. Okay, so right, if you open your drive, on the right hand side of your drive, you will see the files that are saved under your drive. It could be an Excel file, it could be a Word file, it could be a picture file, it could be a PDF file, it could be a video file, it could be anything that you can save here. You could save your files, and if you open your Gmail account on any of your devices, you could access your files. On the left side, you have the various options: new, priority, the drive, shared with me. Shared with me will be, if you click open this will be the files that people have shared with you. The recent will be the files that you recently checked. The starred will be the files that you've started, meaning the files that are very important. And then the trash will be the files that you've moved into trash. Because each time you delete a file, it's not permanently deleted, but it's pushed somewhere. So it usually goes to the trash. So in order to delete the files completely, you have to empty your trash. Good. So now we can go through the button called New. What are the functions? So if you click this New button, this is what you can do with it. You could create a new folder. We all know what a folder is. Folder is a bigger file that contains series of files. Okay, so you could create a new folder. You could upload file here. Okay, uploading file. It could be your Word file, your Excel file, your picture file, your PDF file, or any other file. You could upload folder, of course, if you had some if you had created a folder before and you had some files in it, you could upload your folder here. If you upload it, meaning it's going to be on your cloud storage. It's going to be on your Google Drive. Okay, and then of course you could, if you click on this Google Docs, you're going to open a new Google Doc file, which is similar to Microsoft Word. Google Sheet, you click on this, then it's going to give you a new Google Sheet file. You click on this, it is going to give you Google Slides, meaning new Google Slides file. Google Slides is very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. Then Google Forms is going to give you a form that is also very, very useful. If you follow me, we're going to look at each and every one of these, of course, especially the Google Form. The Google Forms is very, very useful. You could use it together with your Google spreadsheet to design, a little, software, especially for accountants. You could create it in such a way that you could create your cash book module, your receivable modules, your payables modules, your asset register, and so on and so forth. So it's very, very, very useful. Okay. So if you follow me subsequently, we're going to look at all this, inshallah. All right. And if you click on more, you'll have more apps. Okay. So for now, what we are interested in is we want to create a new Google Sheet file. So to create a new Google Sheet file, we click on Google Sheet. So once we click on Google Sheet, the Google Sheet file will open, and it's going to look something like this. I'm going to look at that. It's going to look something like this. Okay, so this is your new Google Sheet file. As you can see, it is very similar to Microsoft Excel. Okay, so when you open it newly, it will say Untitled Spreadsheet. Okay, you need to click on it and then give it a title. Okay, and you have the various menus. Okay, the file menu, the edit menu, the view menu, insert menu, format menu, data menu, tools, and the add-ons. Okay, we're going to go through each of them briefly. Okay, but before going through briefly, we're going to look at the frame of it. As you can see, this looks very similar to Excel spreadsheet. Okay, just like Excel spreadsheet, the columns are named, are given letters like A, B, C, D. So these are called columns. Okay, they run from top to bottom. And rows are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. And they run from left to right, as you can see. Where they intersect is called a cell. And every cell has a cell reference, just like you have in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so at the bottom here, you have sheets. Sheets also by default, they're given the name sheet 1. If you add in another one, it's going to give you sheet 2. You add in another one, it's going to give you sheet 3. But if you want to name these sheets, you could double click on them and then type. Let's say we want to call this sheet income. We want to give it a name called income. So we can double click on it and then you type income will be displayed. You can do the same thing. Let's say you want to call this expenses, double click on it, and then you type expenses. Okay, excellent. So that's the way you rename sheets in Google Sheet. Very similar to Excel as well. Yeah. Then if you want to give them a color, you click on this tab and then give them, you can select your color. Let's say we want to select green. Okay, look at it. The sheet will be colored green, and so on and so forth. So if you want to give it a name, also let's say we want to call this an income statement. So you click on it and then you type the file name. So we call it income statement. So you call it income statement. Now, if you want to start this file Starring the file, meaning the file is going to appear as an important file. You just click on it. Once you click on it, an orange color, an orange star will appear. Meaning, if you go to your Google Drive, you check your start file is going to be there. Start file means important file. Okay. So quickly, we're going to go through the menus, and then that will be it for today. Okay. Hopefully, inshallah, we're going to be continuing these lessons. So the file menu, as you can see, has got all these options. Okay. You can share your file here. Okay. Sharing means you're going to share with collaborators, and then you can all be looking at it real time. Okay. You could create a new file, and the good thing is, unlike Excel, if you're using Excel, you can only create a new Excel file when you are on the Excel app. But here you can be on any file, and then you can create and look at a new. You can create a spreadsheet here. You could create a Word document, a document here. You could do a presentation. You could do a form. You could do drawing. Okay, so it's really flexible. You can see all the capabilities. You could email the file. You could download it. Okay, this is also very important. So you're not missing out on your Excel. You could do your Google Sheet, and then you download the file as an Excel file. You could convert the file to PDF and then other formats. Okay, so this is really important, and you could print your file from here as well. Okay, so the next tab is the edit. You can see the edit has got some functions which are very similar to the home tab in Excel. The view, okay, also these are the functions. So the insert menu, the format menu is also very similar to the home tab of Excel. Then you have data, okay. You can do your filtering here. You could do your validation. You could do your holy pivot table here as well. Okay. Then you have your tools, okay. Under the tools menu, you could do your notification rules. You could do your protect sheet, and so on and so forth. And then last but not the least, the add-on. Okay, so the add-ons, these are other bits and pieces that you could include in here, okay, which are not part of here. So like a typical example is reminder. You could add on a reminder app to your Google Sheet in such a way that an automatic email reminding you will be sent to you if there are dates in your spreadsheet. You could program it that way. So to be honest with you, Google Sheet is really, really powerful. Okay. So the last thing we're going to look at for today, before we close, will be how to share your file. Okay. Assuming this is an income statement, we want to share with two people, for example. We want to share with an accountant that is responsible for the income and an accountant that is responsible for expenses. Okay, we could share it with both of them, and we do it in such a way that the one who is responsible for income will only be able to populate the income sheet, and the one that is responsible for expenses will be able to populate the expenses sheet. And then the owner or the manager will do the collating and the summary and the reporting. Okay, so how do we share the file? We click on the tab called share. If you can remember, we found this on the file menu as well. It's the same share here. So you can either access it here or you access it here. So once you click on share, okay, a menu like this will appear. So when you're sharing, you share with people's Gmail. Okay, so let's say we want to share with, we want to share with, let's say, the accountant, and then the accountant may be, let's say, Amadou Bari. Okay, so I select Amadou Bari's email. Okay, so I just come and select Amadou Bari. Let me do it again. Sorry. Okay, Sorry. All right, I seem to be experiencing some issues with the internet. Okay, I seem to be experiencing some issues with the internet. Okay, never mind. We are going to stop here for today, and we will continue. We will continue this lecture series, inshallah. Actually, the only downside with Google Sheet is it works effectively with internet. But that doesn't mean that it cannot work without internet. It can work without internet when you've already created your file, and whilst you're having internet, you could activate the offline mode. If you activate the offline mode, you can be able to use it without internet. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. We're going to stop here and we're going to continue. I hope you had good time. Please, if you think you love this video, try to share it with other people, and also try and subscribe to my channel, Lamin Fofana. Once you receive this video, you will see somewhere at the bottom, at the right corner, subscribe. Click the subscribe button, and then you click on the bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Lamin Fofana from the Gambia, West Africa. Thank you.